Thanks for staying with us. You're watching We On. Now, we have a very interesting discussion going on right here in the studio with Senior Advocate Dikshyant of the Supreme Court, Mr. Paranjoy Thakurta, Editor Economic and Political Weekly, also Mr. Prakash Singh right here in the studio. He's a Padma Shri awardee and former DGP, Uttar Pradesh and Assam Police. Paranjoy, if I can come to you with this very interesting report that I have, in fact, done in May of 2016 by authors Nishith Prakash, Yogesh Uppal and Mark Rockmore. They've argued that, election of criminal politicians negatively affects the economic activity of a constituency. In fact, they say that the GDP of these particular constituencies is lower, and these criminal politicians getting elected is largely confined to certain states which are development laggards, since these are also likely to have weaker governance-related institutions and higher corruption levels. Interesting study, isn't it? Your take?
Absolutely. I would go along with the conclusions of that study. I would endorse them. This is my instinctive gut feeling says that this is indeed the case. But I want to try and contextualize Mohammad Shahabuddin in the current political scenario in Bihar. And I want to first put before you a few facts and then make a few observations. Firstly, it's not that Shahabuddin that there are people who are not opposed to him, but they have been made very, very weak. Let me first point out two things. The last Lok Sabha election that Shahabuddin won was in 2004. After that, the Election Commission of India barred him from contesting elections because all the convictions and all the cases against him.
Right.
Even in 2004, Shahabuddin won the case while he was in jail. Remember that. Now, interestingly, and this is something that Mr. Nitish Kumar, the Chief Minister of Bihar, should note. I'm just jogging his memory that when the Janata Dal United opponent, Om Prakash Yadav, managed to get 2 lakh votes in that election, which was a substantial improvement over the performance of the JDU in 1999.
Right.
Within days of the results being announced, at least 9 workers of the JDU were killed. Now, always, it's people who are known to be close to Shahabuddin, individuals who are believed to be closely associated with the former member of parliament. After he was not allowed to stand for election in 2009, the Rashtriya Janata Dal, headed by Lalu Prasad Yadav, put up his wife, Shahabuddin's wife, Hena Shahab, from the same Siwan constituency in Bihar, but Om Prakash Yadav of JDU defeated her by 63,000 votes. Why am I saying all this?
Your conclusion.
After the assembly elections, the Mahagathbandhan, which is the Janata Dal United, the Rashtriya Janata Dal and the Indian National Congress, of these 3 parties that constituted the Mahagathbandhan, the Rashtriya Janata Dal, headed by Lalu Prasad Yadav, gained the most. This is something that Mr. Nitish Kumar better keep in mind, and this is what Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav also better keep in mind. Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav is no stranger to jail. He himself has spent behind bars.
That's right.
But what it is doing to the image of the Mahagathbandhan, to the RJD, to the JDU, their claims about providing good governance and their claims of opposing the Bharatiya Janata Party, not only in Bihar, but all over the country.
Valid points, Paranjoy. You know, that's the reason why I was asking you, what it does to the economic activity of the state. And you've answered that question in a political way.
If Shahabuddin continues to get the kind of political patronage, if he continues to get the kind of political patronage that he has, then the credibility of the Nitish Kumar government and that of Lalu Prasad Yadav will be over, will be finished.
Now, let me go to Advocate Dave very quickly, and I'd like to go for closing comments to Mr. Singh after that. Advocate Dave, we have heard of reports now saying that Nitish Kumar will go and challenge his bail in the Supreme Court, and he'll see to it that Shahabuddin is behind bars once again. But the larger question here is, if it hampers the state, if these criminals are elected as members of the Legislative Assembly, it hampers the progress of the state. There are now studies to prove that. It creates a atmosphere of fear as well in the state with these kind of people walking around free. So tell us those pointers in your mind that you have. What can the judiciary now do to make things better? Then I'm going to ask Mr. Singh the same thing about what the administration, the police, the machinery can change to make things better. Advocate Dave, first you.
See, I think you must realize one thing, that the subordinate judiciary works under extremely difficult conditions, and yet Mr. Shahabuddin has been convicted in 8 cases. So hats off to the subordinate judges, the lower court judges, who have really taken the law to its logical end. Unfortunately, he gets the bail, and I assume that in all these cases he has got bail from the High Court. So I think there is a lot for the higher judiciary to ponder as to what really is the reason why he gets away with bail in every case that he is convicted. I mean, if you convict people in with life imprisonment in cases of abduction, kidnapping and murders, then I don't think these are cases where judges should be giving bail lightly. And I think I agree with Mr. Singh that judges really must introspect and really can't get away from the fact that they are responsible in some way in being lenient towards this kind of people. So I think that higher judiciary needs to protect the subordinate judiciary as much as they can, because those judges work really under trying circumstances. There is no protection to them, and yet they go ahead and on the basis of the evidence convict people like Shahabuddin. So the High Court should be, I think, quite circumspect, and the Chief Justice of the High Court, I would say, should be really very careful about assigning matters or criminal matters of serious nature to judges who are in the High Court.
Your point is taken, Advocate Dave.
That if the matter is brought to the Supreme Court, perhaps
let's just give time to Mr. Singh also for closing comments. Mr. Singh, law and order, state subject, how can the police help?
Well, I would like to sum up by saying that the whole episode shows the total failure of the system in Bihar, particularly. One, it shows the failure of the jail system, because if you look at Shahabuddin, you don't see a man who has been 11 years in jail. He looks absolutely healthy, normal, and beaming and smiling. So he was not really in jail. He had all the comforts in jail which he would have otherwise had at home. Two, failure, or shall I say the decline of the political system, where you are nudging the police, you are nudging the administration to go slow in the prosecution of Shahabuddin. But for that, he would not have released on bail. There was definitely political hints, subtle directions. So failure of the jail system, failure of the political system, failure of the police to, as pointed out by Mr. Dave, why the police did not pursue the matter to its logical conclusion, and failure of the prosecution system. We did not oppose his release on bail. Obviously, at the direction and hint from somebody.
Got all your points. So failure of the jail system, political system, police and the judiciary all at the same time, and this is what you get, Shahabuddin walking out of the jail. But we'll have to wait and watch. There are going to be a lot of developments very soon in this case. If you're to go by what the reports are saying now, as far as Nitish Kumar is concerned, he's mulling action now against Shahabuddin. Thanks so much, Advocate Dikshyant Dave, Mr. Paranjoy Thakurta and Mr. Prakash Singh, for joining us this evening on WION and sharing your thoughts with us on this particular case. That's it for now. We're taking a short break. Lots more news and updates follow on the other side. Stay with us.